From 1699 to 1780, Williamsburg was the capital of Virginia. At this point in time, Alexander Spotswood was the colony's lieutenant governor. One of Spotswood's well-known architectural additions to the colony was the public magazine. The building, which stored all of their arms and munitions, played a significant role in the shaping of the American Revolution. Hello, my name is Peyton. I am 16 years old, and I am a member of the Augusta Archers 4-H Club and a Virginia 4-H Shooting Sports Ambassador. The title of my speech is The Gunpowder Affair. The magazine is located in the heart of Williamsburg. It has a height of 60 feet and a width of 33 feet and 5 inches. It had 2 floors, a peaked roof, and a tiny attic. The magazine was in the shape of an octagon and was made out of brick. Its walls were approximately 2 feet thick and was surrounded by a sturdy wooden fence. In 1755, 2 important additions were made in order to increase security: a 10-foot tall perimeter wall and a guardhouse. Before the American Revolution, Virginia and London were on good terms with each other. The colony would receive arms and ammunition from England to protect themselves from Native American tribes, pirate crews, and other unfriendly crowds. Most communities stored these items in barns, basements, and attics. This resulted in frequent accidents. For example, in 1691, the famous explorer John Smith was severely burned when a spark lit his powder keg, a large barrel in which gunpowder was stored. Gunpowder is what propels a bullet from a firearm. It comes from a mixture of sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate, and though highly explosive, the colonists would typically store small amounts in a powder flask or powder horn. To fix this issue, on April 30th, 1713, Lieutenant Governor Spotswood proposed to keep the colony's arms and ammo in one place. The magazine was completed in 1715. Its purpose was to make sure that the muskets, long rifles, bayonets, swords, pistols, and axes stayed out of the wrong hands and kept the highly flammable explosives dry and away from accidental sparks. This worked well for almost 60 years, but the relationship between Virginia and England began to change. Word of what happened at Lexington and Concord in the April of 1775 reached Virginia. Colonists began to organize and form their own militias. Sensing their unrest, Lord Dunmore, who was the royal governor at the time, moved quickly to inhibit their access to arms and munitions. He told the British troops to seize the magazine's stock of firearms and gunpowder, so in the middle of the night on April 20th, the Royal Marines went to the magazine and took everything, including all 15 barrels of gunpowder. They loaded it all onto the governor's wagon and transported it to a ship waiting in the James River. However, the act was discovered by townfolk, who sounded an alarm. Local militia rallied to the scene, and riders were sent to spread the word of this incident across the colony. Dunmore had remained in Williamsburg with his family and had, as a precaution, armed his servants with muskets. Peyton Randolph, Speaker of the House of Burgesses, President of the First Continental Congress, and the man that I happen to be named after, calmed the angry crowd and kept them from storming Governor Dunmore's mansion and burning it down. The colonists demanded return of their property. Dunmore objected, saying that he was moving the arms and gunpowder as protection against a rumored slave uprising, though he would eventually return it. In the end, the conflict was resolved peacefully when Lord Dunmore paid £330 sterling for the ammunition. After resolving the conflict, he and his family fled Virginia in fear of their lives and never returned to the 13 colonies again. This incident is often referred to as the Gunpowder Affair and is said to be what accelerated the American Revolution. They say history repeats itself. A governor serving someone other than the Virginians he is supposed to represent, trying and take away our firearms, ammunition, and the right to protect ourselves. That is, and that which we hold so dear. One could argue that it sounds a lot like what's been happening in the Virginia state capitol lately. My resources are the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation, RevolutionaryWarAndBeyond.com, and thehistoryjunkie.com. Thank you. Are there any questions?